Thought for 11s. They say hard work guarantees success. They say be honest and transparent to win trust. They say always follow your passion. But Niccolò Machiavelli didn't follow any of that. Because he understood a brutal truth most people never grasp. Success demands strategic calculation, not blind effort. Hard work can make you predictable. Honesty can be exploited. Passion can blind you. And if you let naivety control you, others will outmaneuver you. That's why Machiavelli didn't just master politics, he mastered the art of strategic thinking. Because no strategy matters if your decisions can be swayed by others. From the moment you wake up, you're bombarded with advice on how to succeed. Grind harder, network more, stay authentic. But authenticity without strategy is vulnerability. You pour your soul into a venture, only to watch someone steal your ideas because you shared too freely. You trust a partner blindly, and they pivot when it suits them. You chase dreams fueled by emotion, ignoring the traps laid by competitors. Machiavelli saw this in the cutthroat courts of Renaissance Italy, where fortunes rose and fell not on merit alone, but on cunning foresight. He realized that true success isn't about being the strongest or the smartest. It's about thinking like a prince, anticipating moves, concealing intentions, and turning every interaction into an advantage. Without this mindset, you're not building an empire, you're handing the keys to your rivals. Imagine pouring years into a career, only to be sidelined because you didn't see the political games at play. Or launching a business with passion, but failing because you trusted the wrong ally who copied your model and undercut you. That's the reality Machiavelli navigated, where popes, kings, and tyrants played chess with lives. He didn't whine about fairness, he adapted. He wrote, The Prince, not as a manifesto of evil, but as a blueprint for survival and triumph in a world that rewards the prepared mind over the pure heart. If you keep thinking like everyone else, reactively, emotionally, transparently, you'll keep losing to those who think strategically. But once you adopt Machiavelli's lens, everything shifts. You stop reacting to the board, you start controlling it. You become the one others study, fear, and ultimately follow. Because in the game of ultimate success, the prince isn't the loudest voice in the room, he's the one who knows when to speak, what to hide, and how to win without firing a shot. This isn't about becoming ruthless, it's about becoming unbreakable. Machiavelli wasn't a villain, he was a realist who turned observation into power. He watched alliances crumble, loyalties flip, and empires fall because leaders failed to think ahead. In his world, a single misstep, trusting too soon, revealing too much, acting on impulse, could mean exile or death. Yet he rose from obscurity, advised rulers, and left a legacy that shapes leaders today. Because he thought like a prince, methodically, without illusion, always 2 steps ahead. You can do the same. Whether you're climbing the corporate ladder, building a brand, or navigating personal ambitions, Machiavelli's guide strips away the myths and arms you with timeless tools. No more chasing validation or reacting to setbacks. Instead, you'll learn to see opportunities in chaos, allies in deception, and victory in patience. But first, understand the cost of ignoring this. A life of almosts, where your efforts fuel someone else's success. Machiavelli refused that fate. He chose to think strategically, and in doing so, he didn't just survive, he conquered. Now, it's your turn to unlock that power. Let's dive deeper into what it really means to think like a prince. It's not just about clever tactics, it's a complete rewiring of how you perceive the world around you. Society pushes the narrative that success comes from positivity, perseverance, and people skills. But Machiavelli knew better. Positivity can blind you to threats, perseverance without direction is wasted energy, and people skills without strategy leave you open to manipulation. He lived in an era of constant upheaval. The Italian city-states were battlegrounds for power, with foreign invaders like the French and Spanish adding to the chaos. Florence, his home, was a republic one day and a duchy the next. In such instability, only those who thought strategically endured. Consider how he analyzed Cesare Borgia, the duke he observed closely. Borgia was ruthless yet effective, using deception and force to consolidate power. Machiavelli didn't condone cruelty for its own sake, But he admired the results, a unified territory where others had failed. This hook isn't meant to scare you, it's to awaken you. In today's gig economy, startup culture, and social climbing, the same principles apply. A viral post can launch a career, but without strategy, it's fleeting. A partnership can skyrocket your business, but without vetting, it can sink it. Machiavelli's truth is timeless. Success is a game of chess, not checkers. Play impulsively and you lose pieces. Play like a prince and you checkmate the king. So, if you're tired of being outplayed, of watching others claim the prizes you deserve, it's time to embrace this mindset. The hook is set, now let's explore the stakes and how to turn the tide in your favor. Since you started chasing success, you've been taught to be open and trusting. Openness equals authenticity. Trust equals connection. And yet, every time you trusted too easily, someone used it against you. You poured your heart into a project, only to be outplayed. You shared your plans and they were sabotaged. That's the cost. Your trust didn't build alliances. It gave others leverage. If Machiavelli hadn't learned to think strategically, he'd have been crushed by his rivals. In a world of ambition and betrayal, you can't afford to be naive. Not even a little. Men are driven by necessity, ambition, and self-interest, Machiavelli observed. To succeed, you must anticipate that, not hope for better. Be too trusting, and your ideas get stolen in boardrooms or startups. Be too transparent, and competitors predict your moves. Be too passionate without calculation, and you burn out while others capitalize. Machiavelli lived this in Florence, where political winds shifted overnight, turning friends into foes. He negotiated with Cesare Borgia, witnessed the Medici's return, and saw how unchecked trust led to downfall. Without strategic thinking, you're reactive, you respond to crises instead of preventing them, chase short-term wins instead of long-term dominance, and let emotions dictate decisions that should be calculated. The stakes are your future, miss a rival's ploy, and your career stalls. Ignore patterns of deceit and your business crumbles. Fail to conceal your hand, and negotiations turn against you. Machiavelli's exile taught him this harshly. After years of loyal service, he was tortured and discarded when power changed hands. Most would break, but he analyzed it coldly, realizing success demands detachment from illusion. If you don't think like him, you'll repeat cycles of disappointment, watching others ascend on the ladders you built. But master this mindset, and the game changes. You foresee betrayals, turn weaknesses into traps, and build empires that endure. The world isn't fair, it's strategic. Ignore that and you're a pawn. Embrace it and you're the prince. Let's expand on these stakes to make them crystal clear. In the modern context, think about the tech industry, where startups rise and fall daily. Founders who trust investors without due diligence often lose control of their companies. Or in corporate America, where office politics can derail even the most talented. Machiavelli would warn against assuming merit alone suffices. It's the unseen maneuvers that decide promotions. The cost of naivety is not just failure, it's regret. Years wasted on dead-end pursuits, relationships that drain rather than elevate, opportunities missed because you didn't see the angle. He emphasized that fortune favors the bold, but only when boldness is paired with prudence. Without strategy, boldness becomes recklessness. Stakes rise in personal life too. Friendships, romances, family dynamics all involve power plays. Trust blindly, and you're exploited. Think strategically, and you protect what's yours while advancing. Machiavelli's own life exemplifies this. Post-exile, he didn't beg for reinstatement. He wrote works that influenced centuries, turning loss into legacy. The alternative? A forgotten figure, like so many who fell to intrigue. Your stakes are similar. Do you want to be the one who almost made it, or the one who claims the throne? Strategic thinking mitigates risks, maximizes gains, and ensures you're always in control. It's not paranoia, it's preparation. In a global economy where AI disrupts jobs, remote work blurs boundaries, and social media amplifies everything, the naive get left behind. But the prince? He adapts, anticipates, and thrives. Understand these stakes deeply, and you'll never approach success the same way again. Machiavelli wasn't born a strategic genius. He was forged by betrayal, exile, and loss. He served the Florentine Republic, navigating courts of power and deceit. He trusted allies, only to be imprisoned and erased. His loyalty was rewarded with torture. His work erased in days. Most would break, beg, or seek revenge. But Machiavelli observed, learned, and adapted. He realized loyalty is fleeting when power shifts. People only stay loyal until it costs them. Emotion blinds you to their motives. That was his first lesson. To survive, you must think beyond trust and plan for betrayal. Your own betrayals teach the same. Every time you thought they'd stay loyal, you learned people prioritize their own gain. Machiavelli's transformation began in humiliation. Born in 1469 to a modest family, he entered politics with idealism, rising as a diplomat and secretary. He met figures like Leonardo da Vinci and Cesare Borgia, whom he admired for bold strategy. But in 1512, the Republic fell and the Medicis returned. Machiavelli, tied to the old regime, was accused of conspiracy, imprisoned, and subjected to the strappado, ropes twisting his arms until they nearly broke. Released but exiled to his farm, he could have despaired. Instead, he reflected. In letters, he described days farming and evenings donning courtly garments to converse with ancient thinkers through books. This isolation birthed The Prince, dedicated to Lorenzo de' Medici in hopes of redemption. But it wasn't bitterness that drove him, it was clarity. He dissected why republics fail, why princes rise. Not virtue alone, but virtue, skillful adaptation. He drew from history, Hannibal's fear-inspired loyalty, Scipio's love-based command that faltered. Betrayal taught him people act from fear or love, but fear is more reliable because it's controllable. In your life, think of partnerships dissolved when profits dipped, mentors who vanished when you needed guidance, or colleagues who claimed your credit. These aren't anomalies, they're patterns Machiavelli cataloged. He realized success origins in recognizing human nature, self-serving, changeable, driven by circumstance. Blind trust invites exploitation, strategic thinking demands skepticism. He didn't become cynical, he became prepared. From exile, he advised on militias, diplomacy, even though ignored at first. His mindset turned defeat into doctrine. You can too. Origins of strategic thinking lie in pain turned to purpose. When betrayed, don't rage, analyze. Who gained? What signs did you miss? Machiavelli turned heartbreak into hindsight, exile into education. He studied classics like Livy, applying Roman tactics to modern woes. This rewired him, no longer reactive to events, but proactive in shaping them. Your origins mirror this. Every failure is a forge. That job loss? Data on industry politics. That failed venture? Lesson in partner vetting. Machiavelli's guide starts here. Embrace adversity as the cradle of strategy. Without it, you're untested. With it, unbreakable. To build on this, consider how his early life shaped this foundation. Growing up in a Florence torn by wars and plagues, Machiavelli witnessed the fragility of power from a young age. His father, a lawyer, instilled a love for learning, but financial struggles meant no university degree. Self-taught, he absorbed history, philosophy, and rhetoric, which became his arsenal. As a young official, he traveled to France, Switzerland, and Rome, observing diverse governance. These experiences highlighted that success stems from adaptability, not rigidity. In Switzerland, he saw the strength of citizen armies. In France, the weakness of divided nobility. Borgia, in particular, was a case study. He unified Romagna through calculated cruelty and generosity, but his reliance on his father's papacy led to downfall when the Pope died. Machiavelli learned that origins of power must be self-sustained, not borrowed. Apply this to your journey. Your background, whether privileged or challenging, is raw material. If you've faced setbacks like layoffs or failed startups, use them as Machiavelli did his exile. Retreat, reflect, reinvent. He wrote not just The Prince, but Discourses on Livy, advocating republics over principalities when possible, showing depth beyond cynicism. Strategic origins involve balancing idealism with realism. Don't discard dreams, fortify them with plans. In today's world, entrepreneurs like Elon Musk echo this. Facing failures at PayPal or SpaceX, they analyze and pivot. Your strategic genesis is ongoing. Each day, catalog experiences, extract lessons. Machiavelli's life proves that from humble or humiliated beginnings, strategic thinking forges legends. Embrace your origins, and you'll craft a path to ultimate success that's uniquely yours. So how do you think like Machiavelli? It starts with your own failures. Think of a time you were outplayed. Who used your trust? What did you feel? That pain isn't just weakness. It's data. Machiavelli turned betrayal into strategy. He studied human behavior, noticing how flattery hides ambition. He trained his mind to see warnings in smiles, traps in promises. You do the same. When someone praises too quickly, don't feel flattered. Ask what do they want? In a negotiation, watch their tone, not their words. In a conflict, notice their silence, not their noise. Over time, you stop reacting and start predicting. That's strategic thinking, seeing patterns others miss and acting only when it serves you. Training begins with observation, Machiavelli's core tool. He didn't act impulsively, he watched. In The Prince, he advises princes to study history, learn from others' mistakes without paying the price. Start by journaling your interactions. Note motives behind compliments, hesitations in agreements. This builds pattern recognition. Next, cultivate detachment. Emotions cloud judgment. Machiavelli urged controlling them. Feel ambition, but don't let it rush you. Train through scenarios. Imagine a rival's move, plan counters. Use mental simulations, like chess masters visualizing boards. He drew from military strategy, advocating citizen militias over mercenaries for reliability. Apply this. In business, build internal strengths over outsourcing vulnerabilities. Practice deception ethically, not lying outright, but concealing intentions. Machiavelli said it's better to appear merciful while being firm. In deals, seem flexible while holding firm lines. Train ambiguity. Respond to probes with vague answers like, "I'll consider that," buying time to assess. Read body language. He noted how eyes betray fear, postures reveal confidence. Books like The Art of War by Sun Tzu complemented his views. Know yourself and the enemy. Modern tools. Analyze emails for subtext, meetings for alliances. Build resilience through discomfort. Delay gratification, face rejection simulations. Machiavelli endured torture. You can handle criticism. Reframe setbacks. A lost promotion isn't defeat, it's intel on company dynamics. Network strategically, not broadly, but with key influencers. He courted the Medicis post-exile. Vet allies. Test loyalty with small risks. Over months, this rewires instincts, from emotional to analytical. You'll spot opportunists early, turn rivals' aggression against them. Strategic thinking isn't innate, it's trained daily. Machiavelli did it in solitude, you can in routine. The mind, once honed, becomes your greatest weapon, turning chaos into calculated conquest. Expanding on training, let's delve into specific exercises Machiavelli might endorse today. First, historical study. Read biographies of leaders like Napoleon or Steve Jobs, noting strategic pivots. Machiavelli analyzed Roman emperors, Trajan's conquests, Marcus Aurelius' stoicism. Apply by dissecting case studies. Why did Netflix out-strategize Blockbuster? Pattern, anticipation of tech shifts. Second, role-playing. Simulate negotiations with friends or apps, practicing concealment. He role-played in letters, debating tactics. Third, mindfulness for detachment. Meditate to observe thoughts without reaction, echoing his farm reflections. Fourth, risk assessment journals. Daily, list potential threats and mitigations. In diplomacy, he assessed alliances' stability. Fifth, physical analogs. Play chess or poker to train bluffing and prediction. Machiavelli praised war games. Sixth, feedback loops. After interactions, review what worked, what revealed too much. His writings were iterative critiques. Seventh, diversify knowledge. Learn psychology, e.g., cognitive biases, to predict behavior, as he did with human nature. 8th, endurance training. Exposed to minor stresses, building tolerance like his torture survival. 9th, mentorship seeking. Find strategic guides as he observed Borgia. 10th, ethical calibration. Ensure strategy aligns with long-term virtue, avoiding Borgia's fatal flaws. This comprehensive training transforms novices into princes. Practice consistently, and you'll navigate boardrooms like battlefields, turning every challenge into a stepping stone. Machiavelli's mind was his fortress. Make yours impenetrable. In today's world, ambition and competition are everywhere. Workplaces reward strategy over effort. Social media baits emotional reactions. Machiavelli would thrive here because he mastered the art of staying unreadable. Here's how you apply it. Someone tries to provoke you in a meeting. Don't defend yourself. Pause, let their words hang, respond with interesting perspective. I'll consider it. Online, someone baits you with a comment. Don't clap back. Ignore it. Let their noise expose them. In relationships, someone demands emotional openness. Don't over-explain. Set boundaries with, I'll share when it's right for me. Each choice makes you unpredictable, unshakable. Over time, people stop testing you because you don't break. You become the strategist, not the soldier. Machiavelli didn't chase approval. He built power through clarity. You don't need to prove your worth. You need to move with purpose, speak with weight, vanish without explanation. That's thinking like a prince, commanding your world by commanding your mind. Apply it in negotiations. Appear cooperative while preparing alternatives. He advised princes to keep options open, alliances flexible. In job interviews, reveal strengths selectively, probe their needs first. In entrepreneurship, launch minimally viable products to test markets without full exposure. Socially, build influence quietly. Listen more, speak less. Machiavelli's presence intimidated because he revealed little. Online, curate your image. Post strategically, not impulsively. Handle conflicts with misdirection. Agree superficially, act differently. He praised fox-like cunning alongside lion-like strength. In teams, delegate to reveal loyalties. If undermined, don't confront immediately, gather evidence, strike decisively. Personal success, set goals with contingencies. Dreaming big? Plan for obstacles Machiavelli style, assume betrayal, prepare redundancies. In finance, diversify not just investments, but relationships. He warned against fortune's whims, control what you can. Daily habits, morning reviews of potential threats, evening reflections on wins/losses. This application turns theory to triumph. You'll close deals others fumble, advance where peers stall, inspire without vulnerability. Machiavelli's ultimate success came posthumously, his ideas enduring. Yours can manifest now, outlast rivals, seize opportunities, rule your domain. Thinking like a prince isn't occasional, it's perpetual vigilance yielding perpetual victory. To apply further, consider sector-specific examples. In tech, use Machiavelli's adaptability. Pivot like Amazon from books to everything, anticipating market shifts. In sales, employ appearance versus reality. Seem eager but hold back concessions. In creative fields, protect ideas. Share teasers, not blueprints, as he dedicated work strategically. In education, teach strategically. Mentors, guide selectively to build loyalty. In health, apply to personal wellness. Strategize routines against burnout. Globally, amid geopolitics, think like him in investments, diversify against instability. Socially, navigate cancel culture, respond measuredly, turning backlash into sympathy. In family, set boundaries to maintain respect. Machiavelli's applications are endless because human nature is constant. Master them, and success becomes inevitable, not accidental. Let's clear the misconception. Thinking like a prince isn't about being ruthless. It's about owning your decisions, not others' expectations. Machiavelli didn't aim for cruelty. He aimed for sovereignty over his path. You're not here to be heartless. You're here to be whole. Success isn't reacting to chaos, it's shaping it. In a world of noise and manipulation, strategic thinking is your shield and sword. Stop chasing validation. Start building your empire. Pause before you speak. Watch before you act. Choose your moves, not your emotions. And when you do, the world won't just notice you, it'll orbit you. Because thinking like a prince means no one controls you when you control yourself. Machiavelli's legacy isn't in conquests, but in empowering minds to navigate power. You've now glimpsed his guide, from origins in adversity, through training the mind, to applying it relentlessly. This isn't a quick fix, it's a transformation. Embrace it, and ultimate success isn't a dream, it's your destiny. To close with depth, reflect on how this mindset evolves society. Leaders like Franklin D. Roosevelt or Angela Merkel embodied it, calculating through crises. In business, Warren Buffett invests strategically, not emotionally. Your adoption contributes to a world where merit meets preparation. Remember, Machiavelli sought effective governance, not tyranny. Use this power wisely, and you'll not only succeed but inspire. The prince's path is yours, walk it with purpose.